Oh, we are live on the Love Gurus podcast. If you saw that 1 minute fuck up we just had, where there was no sound, forget that you saw it. We're taking dating advice from Reddit. No, we're giving dating advice. Anyways.
I'll take it. I need it all I can get.
If you find out your girlfriend accidentally banged your dad.
No, stop that.
Yeah, but he's
Close to home.
My dad's gay. It'd be very unlikely that would happen.
yeah.
That girl had charm, dude.
Find out your
That's a
fiance
crazy
has
night.
been slipping it to your mom.
No. Why do they keep fucking my parents?
I know, man. Why can't my parents
Some
be
menage a trois with your own parents.
My parents are a couple of whores.
It seems only fair if dad's fucking my girlfriend that my cousin should pork my mom.
That is fair.
How long has it been since you heard someone use the word pork as a euphemism?
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes,
a good.
yes.
Yeah, that's a good. You know, another word I heard today that I haven't heard in a long time is yoinks. What
Yo-
a great
yoinks?
yoinks.
I've never heard yoinks.
Never
Shaggy.
and
Shaggy.
it was
Shaggy.
Oh, Shaggy.
Yeah, and
yoinks.
it was used in the context of stealing a package from someone's house. You walk up to someone's house and just yoinks. I'm like, okay, first of all, yoinks is a great word. Second of all, that is not how yoinks is used. Like, it is not used to describe stealing packages.
Well,
but anyway,
He brought
Speaking of
together
packages.
yoinks and yanks. You yank it away, yoinks. Get fuck.
okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah.
This guy's just off base.
But speaking of packages, we're going to be answering fucked up dating questions
Yeah.
off of Reddit and from you, the listeners, in the comment section. Definitely jump on there in the comment section live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Tyler's happy about the sound.
Yes. Tyler on YouTube says, yes, sound. Welcome, guys. Absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you for being here.
Yeah.
Amy on YouTube says, you sound so much better now that we can hear you. Fucking A, right? We can. Welcome, Joel
It is a
on
slight
YouTube.
bonus on a podcast, I must say.
Oh, yeah. Unless you're a really good lip reader, then it's no good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Time. Let me get something where I can read that better. Time self, on YouTube says, now I can bloody well hear yous. Yeah, absolutely. Fucking A. Thank you for being here.
No, I can bloody well hear you,
Tuning in
mate.
from the UK. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm picturing
Great.
an angry, like Cogni Peaky Blinders dude, just fucking throwing things
Peaky
at
Yeah.
the computer right now because you can't hear. But we are here with sound. We are going to take dating questions from the wild animals on Reddit. But first, let me introduce both of our guests. First up, he's a first-time guest, a hilarious stand-up comic, Mr. Mark Henely. Thank you for being on the show.
What's up,
Mark.
guys? Thanks for having me on. I'm the big dog of Comedy Fight Club. I'm excited to bring some of that energy to this show.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
You can find him at Comedy Fight Club. That streams every Thursday night after this, I believe, right?
Every Thursday night. It's on YouTube. We actually battled each other at Fight Club one time.
We did.
Wow,
We did. It was good.
that would've been
It was a
fun.
good
It
battle.
was a character battle where me and my friend Bobby were the Insane Clown Posse.
Oh, yeah. I was the FBI, and you guys were the Insane Clown Posse. That was legit one of the best roast battles I've ever done. They did the full makeup and everything.
That's
Oh,
all. If you're
wow,
gonna do-
that's-
if you're going to
yeah,
do
great
ICP, you got
commitment.
to do the makeup.
Yeah. I mean, I just showed up with like a shirt and aviators looking like a narc, and I look like a narc all the time anyway. So like no
got that
makeup
down, yeah.
needed. Yeah, if anything, makeup would make this look less narky. So
Yeah.
the less I did, the more I looked like a narc.
And
And
you only had like a day or so to prepare, and you came up, and we had like full makeup, and we're like practicing our raps in the park. For the
dude,
entire
it was
day.
pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
I love that. That's
I wish there was
amazing.
footage of that. Yeah.
I think
Well,
there
is
is
it-
on
yeah,
YouTube,
I was
right?
gonna say-
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
Stan's
check that
YouTube
out.
Yeah,
channel.
so
No, I
definitely.
mean the practicing in the park.
Oh, yeah.
Sure,
That was
sure,
the best
sure.
part, yeah.
I want footage of some old lady walking past. I'm like, what in the ever-loving fuck?
I
What
thought
is it?
Kiss took the makeup off.
Kiss is gay and raps now? like she's all confused. She has no idea what this is. Like, what is this couple doing in makeup at this party?
going
It
on
was
here?
it was Union Square, so we were by far not the weirdest people there.
Yeah.
Union
Oh.
Square
Oh, you
is
didn't even know.
Union
At-
Square is a park for like psychos and perverts. That's all it's there.
At least you guys weren't offering people free hugs. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck those people. Okay.
Oh,
Not
Joel on
fuck
YouTube
those
says,
people, I hug 'em.
"Tis myself, is Irish Keith." Hey, what's up, Irish Keith? Thank you for watching.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Irish Keith on
Oh,
YouTube.
that's amazing.
Tyler on YouTube says Jake is a narc. No, yeah, sorry. The
Yeah.
feds, they're paying me money. But let me introduce our second guest. This is another piece of information I'm turning over to the government right now. The name of our second guest, another hilarious stand-up comic. Thank you for coming back to the the podcast, Mr. Troy Allen. Thank you for being
Yeah,
here.
glad to be back here. Second time. Hopefully this
Absolutely.
is better than the first. I stunk it up. All right.
Now you were good the first time.
If I remember correctly,
It was over Zoom, though.
It was virtual, and didn't you just get like your one of your vaccine shots? And so you were like, hey guys, I feel pretty rough, but I'm happy to do the podcast. We're like, well, we do this every week. You could have done it a week.
Rescheduled, asshole.
You could have done
yeah.
a week where you don't. You were great, of course, but it was just funny that you're like, no, I'm here to pod.
Yeah, that must have been like late last March because I had just gotten my first shot and the first one was a little rough.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was funny though.
Glad
yeah.
to be back. And for the Sauvignon Blanc.
Yeah, I also got my first one back in March, and you know how people were saying originally, well, I don't know anyone who's gotten pregnant on the vaccine. I got pregnant a month after I took the vaccine. It was fucking wild.
yeah. Damn.
I have no idea what Pfizer did to me, man.
That vaccine is not a reliable form of birth control. I have said
not.
it once. I've said it thrice.
It's not. I was giving my wife vaccines like vodkas. You know what I mean? Like I was making little Moderna cocktails, and it just it didn't work, man. It's not working.
But nice on the palate, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. But speaking of the palate, we're going to take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit. But before that, we're going to hear from the unofficial fifth member of the podcast, the white wine. Do you want a delicious Sauvignon Blanc to go with your dating questions from Reddit? Then you can't do better than Magnifico Sauvignon Blanc from Valley Central in Chile. Which is good. Valley West in Chile kind of fucking blows, dude. It's pretty much all beach there.
Yeah.
You know?
Are you guys sponsored by white wine?
No, they're sort of the
No.
unofficial sponsor.
It's unofficial, so we can talk about it as much as we
Yeah,
want.
We're
But I
generally
must,
sponsored by White Wine.
Yeah.
It just came together. The White Wine Commission said, we're going to
Yeah.
sponsor that podcast.
I
Yeah,
must say
100%.
though, I'm definitely happy to support any product of Chile because listen, I've never been, but I know it's a beautiful country. Like I feel like they're so close to being amazing, but then you hear like terrible stories of like, you know, like COVID's obviously like rampant and, you know, the miners. I know that's old, but like there's
That's
like
true.
earthquakes.
Well,
what?
I love Chili's. So if it's anything like Chili's,
Yeah.
Yes! Oh my
Uh-huh.
god.
That'd be great.
Well,
Yeah.
it's authentic Chilean food. Chili's.
Right.
Of course.
The flagship store is the flagship restaurant is in Chile.
I would
that's where it's
love to
from.
go to Chile and get some baby back ribs. Know what I'm saying? Oh, that sounds like it would be amazing.
We joked, but you know, some American has gone down there. Where do I get that?
Yeah. I'm
Where
here
am
for
I
the
due for
authentic
one Mars?
experience.
Hope they buried him in the mine.
No, dude, that's a cool country. Like the whole thing is pretty much all beach, right? Like it's just one long straight
It's
thing
like
along
beach,
the beach.
beach and mountains.
It's a sliver of a country. I mean, if you
It's
pulled it
pretty
off, South
badass.
America would not be diminished all that much.
It's like-
they'd lose like
it's
a
like
square
this-
acre of land.
this-
yeah.
Uh-huh.
The Spaniards were coming in. And they're like, no, just give us this part, this part. And by that point, the Spanish were so tired. They were like, fine, you
Yeah.
can have
There it is.
this small sliver on the side. We'll go back
I do
to
want to
Colombia.
party with the people who first like founded Chile as a country. They were like, we kind of like this other country, but only the beach. Can we have just the beach and that's us?
They knew where
Can
the
we
real
have
real
just
estate value was. They're like, this
Yeah.
inland shit, that's where this cacao beans, big fucking
Right.
deal. What's cocoa going to be?
Uh-huh.
Dumb.
That would be like somebody going, I want my state to be part of North Carolina, but only the Outer Banks. That's the only part I like. The mountains, the rednecks, they can fuck off, dude. I only want the Outer Banks.
We're talking
That's
that
Chile as a
smack, but
country.
we live on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we
100%.
would never, most of us never leave. We're like, no,
100%.
I'm not leaving the East Coast because we go inland. We're Jurassic
Yeah,
Park. in
because
there.
we
That's
have
some shit.
wild.
because
dude.
we have Coney Beach. Like, what else could you possibly?
Does it get better?
Well, I grew up on the Jersey Shore, and everyone by the shore, the thing they hate most is people that are also not from the shore.
Oh wow!
So if people had to have a passport to get to the Jersey Shore, everyone on the Jersey
Really?
Shore would be much happier.
oh,
Did
that
not
makes
know that.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Did not
actually
know
have
that.
a name for tourists in the Jersey Shore.
A name for a tourist? you said?
For tourists.
Really?
Yeah,
Tourists.
they're called bennies.
Benny's.
Oh really?
Wow.
Why
I thought
Benny's?
it was like a cute song all into this
Yeah,
whole time. It's not.
No, Springsteen wrote a song about that. I smacked a Benny in the face
Oh, I was thinking,
the other day
is it-
because
and
he
so-
was talking shit at the bar.
So I thought it was Benny. Benny and the Jets are the Jets, the people on the Jersey Shore, and the Bennies are
No,
everyone
that
else.
was-
Jets are
the,
Puerto Ricans.
Benny's are Puerto Rican?
No, Jets of the West
Yeah.
Side Story. The Jets of the Puerto Rican.
I
gang.
thought the Sharks were
Oh.
the Puerto Ricans.
What?
I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh,
I
the
don't know.
Jets of the Americans. Guys, I haven't watched West Side Story in a long time.
I've never seen it.
Good. You're not missing much, dude. It's a fucking musical. They sing, they dance.
I'm pretty sure they just all die at the end. So
Yeah.
it's like every movie you watch.
The Jet's suicide
Why
party.
watch another movie again? They all die at the end.
They all die. They all die at the end.
No
It's
point.
fine.
No point. It's just like life, man. You know, just like life. But Joel on YouTube says Chile looks like an appendix on the map.
Oh, yeah.
He says, Jake, skip the Moderna cocktails. Your specialty is Molotov cocktails. Oops, wrong show. Yeah, fucking A, man. You know, these
Joel
would
knows
make.
you, yeah.
No, but here's the thing: cheap wine is strong enough that you can use it to make Molotovs. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
If
Drop
you
a
picked up on
cloth
that.
and a wick in there and let's go cause some damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Like that lawyer who got arrested during the protests in 2020. You know, she actually probably was just drinking a bottle of white wine and dropped a tissue. You know what I mean? And then they're like, "You're a terrorist. It's a Molotov." And she's like, "I just thought my rosé. Oh, what?"
Yes. Magnifico Cocktails, the official white wine of Molotov and cop cars during protests. It was that was what she used. Magnifico, get you some. Now let's take our first question from the wild animals on Reddit.
First question. My mom gave me a deadline to get married. I'm 28, my boyfriend's 27. We've been together for 3 years and we bought a house together last year. My mom gets super agitated over the fact that we're not married yet, and in a recent phone call, she became pushier than she's ever been. In her opinion, we were supposed to get married last year, right after moving in together. In the end, she basically told me, "You're 20, turning 29 soon. Tell your boyfriend that you have to get married by the end of this year at the latest." Now, I'm not really loving the idea of forcing a proposal. My boyfriend and I have already agreed that we both want to get married, and he said that he has some plans in mind about how he wants to propose. I obviously want to keep the details a secret because I love surprises.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what he plans to propose. It might even be next year. No matter how many times I tell my mom that we want to do it our way, she insists that her way is correct. My main dilemma is whether I should even tell my boyfriend what's been happening. He vaguely knows that my mom's been nagging me, but he doesn't know exactly what she said. I don't want him to feel pressured or cause tension between him and my mom, and I certainly don't want him to rush into proposing just because my mom said so. On the other hand, I don't want him to be blindsided if my mom brings it up to him and starts trying to pressure him directly. How do I handle? Here's what I like about this question. It's so refreshing as a female it's not the female in the relationship pressuring the guy to propose. It's her mom. You know,
That's
it's
right.
like, it's, that ultimatum is coming from Mamacita. She's like, you guys better get married now. It's like, and so it's such an interesting question because normally I think if there is like pressure to propose in a situation, the mom and the daughter would be on the same side, either
Sure.
that or this is like her humble bragging of like, we're
Yeah.
just like so in love. And my mom's just like totally trying to ruin it. Like,
They wake up and the mom's sneaking into the wallet, poking holes in all the condoms and stuff.
yeah.
First things first, parents just don't understand. Will Smith had it right.
Yes.
They just
Thank
don't
you.
understand.
Yeah.
true.
Wisdom of Will is never wrong.
That's true, but he wrote it as a 16-year-old and they're like 30.
He was wise beyond his years. It's the Scientology. It makes you
Yeah.
smarter, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's
but,
true.
But I think you're right in the sense of like this is sort of foreshadowing to other decisions in their relationship. And I think that if they cave at all to mom or say like, oh, or appease her by any means, when it comes to, like, again, decisions about their house or kids, it's, the mom is going to be like, oh, well, I get a say because I was the one that told you guys to get married, basically. I just feel like it's a very slippery slope when you give Mamacita some, control in the relationship.
That was my thought is I think she needs to tell him what's going on. She needs to let her boyfriend in on all the pressure so they can both enjoy annoying her and not getting married and
okay.
just stretch it out and then eventually say, look, this is our life. Get the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any problem saying this. We love you, but you can't do this. So let him in on it. play her, let him say, I'm not really interested in marriage, and just drive her crazy, and then eventually say, yeah, stop.
Yeah.
This is not your get out of our lives. I don't think enough people do that early enough in their relationships with their parents, and it just corrodes them long term, I think.
It's also interesting to me because normally parents aren't like gagging to pay for a wedding. So or maybe the mom doesn't plan to pay for the wedding. She's just one that's like, get married now. You know, it's what
they'll
parent...
then plan a really expensive one. Say, all right, Mom, we're going to get married next week.
Yeah.
And here's where we're doing it. Here's what it costs. Write the check.
Yeah.
And watch Mom be like, well, you're rushing into
you
things
guys,
a
you
little
guys,
bit.
you guys can wait a year.
That mom is
going
to be pissed off when she finds out which side usually pays for the wedding. She's going to be like, back in Chile where I'm from, it's the dude's family who pays for it. What the fuck are you talking about?
We sell some beach real estate, and then everybody has a party.
I didn't read this bullshit on the brochure. I just got drunk on white wine, and I came here, and now I'm looking for a husband for my daughter.
I almost feel like I wish we had eyes on what this couple was exactly like, because I feel like if we saw them for like a little bit, we see one of two things. We either see like, she needs to be honest with this guy and kind of like give him the nudge that he needs, or it's like, no, this guy is never going to commit, and the mother sees it and she doesn't.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because you're seeing it from her side, where if the situation was that he's never going to commit, and she's just like, he's committing soon, her mom's like, this is not happening.
It's more, girl, or wait, no, what's that? The line, Whoopi's line from Ghost. You in trouble, girl.
Liz Lemon,
I'll say it my way.
Liz Lemon from 30 Rock. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah. No, but that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Because she is. She definitely. And again, I guess she says, "Oh, we want to get married." He says he's going to propose. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it's the mom really sees the what's the milk curdling, and this girl's like, "Oh my god, this is so great."
We need to get into Mom's dating history, though, relationship history, because I'm not sure we don't hear anything about Dad in there.
Yeah,
I just hear
good
about
point.
Mom, so maybe Mom's just like home alone, bitter, because she's the way she is, and she's like, nail him down and make him miserable, or he's gonna leave you.
That's what she's doing. She's just like, he reminds me of your dad. He's a dude and he fucking lies, and she's just rushing him into this.
But also, I feel like to be fair though, they are kind of in that sweet spot where it's like they're old enough to make adult decisions, but they're not too old where people like realize they're just going to do their own thing anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if this couple was 45, the mom would be like, whatever. You're 45. Do your own decision.
Yeah, 39 is the new 17 and a half.
The fact that she's 28, she's like, okay, good things. You could still be vice president by the time you're 45, But
that's the prison you're in when you're 30, and true liberation comes when you hear your family say, you know what, we just want you to be happy.
I know, yes!
They've given up on you entirely when they say, well, we just want you to be happy because nothing we say matters.
We just want you to live your life.
That's the holy grail of freedom in life.
Yeah, it's great, man. I will say that he should do what I did. Don't marry her when she's almost 30. Marry her when she's almost 40,
Yeah.
Really make that mom wait it out.
Yeah, just torture her and just keep saying, oh, yeah, we're going to do it next week.
Yeah. And just like, it's COVID, Mom. COVID. And then, there's always going to be some kind of flu.
Yeah.
So you just like, they said on the news that's always freaking us out about everything that this could be the next COVID. This squirrel flu or whatever's going around.
Squirrel flu.
Yeah. I mean,
you heard it here, folks. First squirrel flu.
It's squirrel flu.
First case right here in this apartment in Astoria.
Absolutely.
But I do also like the idea of just lying to her and saying that it is going to happen. And so you just say, Mom, he's totally going to propose in Central Park. Wait behind the benches right by the amphitheater, and just he's at 3:00. He's going to be there, or something like that. And she just waits, and it never happens. After like the 5th time of doing that, I feel like she'll be so pissed. She'll be like, whatever,
Well, I've handled my mom that way. She's always on me about, I'm a 50-year-old guy, and my mom's like, well, you're going to get married and have babies. Like, Mom, I've had them. I just don't know where they are. And she stopped asking me to do that. She stopped asking the question. She's like, all right, I don't want to hear that. So I think they should do something like that, or just go out, get married, elope, and then come back and say, we're married, and watch how pissed off Mom is that she couldn't be part of it.
That's the worst situation.
They've got to draw some boundaries if they're going to have a healthy relationship going forward.
You know what I think she should do is do the thing where she sets the mom up for the fake proposals, but then find some friends or hire some people from Central Casting to just propose next to her. You know, just random strangers are proposing, and not her daughter's boyfriend.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great idea. But I think there is a distinction here because she said her main dilemma is whether she should tell her boyfriend what's happening just because she doesn't want to be in a situation with the three of them. The mom said something and tries to pressure the boyfriend. So are we in agreement that she should be open with the boyfriend?
I'm 100% on board
Yeah.
with that. I think that
You
kind
think
of
so?
thing really needs to be out there. There can't be these little pockets of secrecy.
See, I think that's the wrong. I'm almost more convinced of my previous theory now. I think that the fact that like she doesn't feel like she can just say it to the person that she's with means that she knows on some level it's gonna go bad.
Oh, that is like,
Yeah.
it's so juicy.
I think this guy's not that into her, and the mom sees it and she doesn't see it, and she's like, well, I can't say something because I've got it all stacked kind of well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if I push it a little bit, it might
It-
dislodge,
it,
you know?
it is. Their relationship
Yeah.
is it about to pop?
Because to me, the two questions are: why does the mom like want this to happen so quick? Is it just like, you know, is it she's just a mom, you know?
Right.
Is she Jewish? Is she just a mom? I've got a Jewish
Yeah.
mom. They
That's-
like to
yeah.
get involved.
But I also
or-
feel like
yeah.
29's not like super old for not being married anymore. Like it might have been
Yeah.
30, 40 years ago, but it's really not now. Again,
So-
Well, it
culturally,
depends on
maybe,
the
you know,
part of the country
whatever.
they live in. If this is
Right.
Kentucky, she is the oldest person
Right.
to not ever be married.
Yeah.
in
Exactly. She
But-
should be a grandma by now.
Kentucky.
Yeah, but you're making a good point because they bought a house together, so that's like a huge financial
Yeah, yeah.
commitment. And so so what you're saying, I think there's definitely some weight there in that her daughter has made this huge
That's a good
financial
point.
commitment with this
Yeah.
dude who, again, she doesn't say anything about like bills or expenses, that they're both gainfully employed, et cetera, et cetera. This guy might be a total deadbeat. And the mom is like, okay, well, the one thing he could do is
Yeah.
commit to this relationship.
Yeah.
I think the mom's
Because-
sniffing out the fuckboy energy on this guy like a goddamn truffle pig.
Well,
I think that's what's going on.
I think we're accepting a social right as legit. Like being married is the only way to express commitment.
yeah.
I'm far more likely to get engaged than I am to buy a house with a woman because one of them you can't get out of, the other one is just go down to the courthouse.
That's true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever escalated a relationship after you, in your heart, kind of knew it was over? Like you knew you were going to break up eventually, but you were like, let's move in together?
Yeah, I mean, me and my wife got married, and we know it's doing.
Yeah. No, that
We
is
just got
yeah.
married last year.
Yes.
End of podcast. There's going to be a bright flash on the screen, some bodies flying everywhere, and that's
Yeah,
it.
I mean, sometimes you got to do that. you
When
know?
I was younger, I had a girlfriend I didn't know how to break up with, and we like moved in together. We got pets together, bought her a coffee maker, and as I was doing it,
Wow.
part of me was kind of like, man, she is gonna love these after I get out of here. But in the moment, I was like, I don't know how to do it differently.
No, I almost moved in with a girlfriend. We were talking about it, and I just finally was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I made up some bullshit reason so I could keep having sex with her,
Right.
but we didn't move in together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that did happen to me. There was one relationship where I lived with a guy, and it was like the first week. I mean, it was almost like funny. We look at each other and we're like, we're not going to make it, are we? And like, but then it was kind of like, but we'd already like, signed this lease, made this commitment and stuff. And so we did eke it out. It was horrible, but
We paid a broker fee. We're stuck.
We eked
For
it
better
out.
or worse.
but that 1 week though was hilarious. It's like, it's
Oh man,
like,
that's gonna be rough though. Like looking for apartments with someone you know you're because I just moved into her place. And she
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
"You gotta break up and you're move in." I'm like, "Well, I
no,
guess
we like, yeah.
I'm staying." You know,
That's
I was
rough,
just kind of
man.
yeah.
It,
If I was
yeah.
like 25, I know it.
Dude, I used to show apartments. That was my first job when I came to New York. And yeah, dude, sometimes you would be showing apartments to couples to where I'm like, you are a terrible couple. You're fighting over everything I'm showing you. Why do you even want to get a
But
place
that should have
together?
been good for you because you could get 2 commissions, like 2 fees. Like,
Oh,
all right, I'm
yeah.
going to show you one place and you another.
If I
There's
signed
no
a bad
fucking
couple,
way,
I
yeah.
made sure to give out 2 business cards at the end of that. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good for brokers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Us and divorce lawyers, man. We're the same. We're different. We're 2 different
You should
colored
share offices.
vultures that feast
Yeah.
off of the same corpse.
You should share offices.
Yes.
Yeah, ambulance chasers, divorce lawyers, Jake Vevera, real estate agent.
Do you think there's any like Better Call Saul type of divorce lawyers who fucking do both? Like they have real estate broker's license because it's easy to get a broker's license. Anyone
Yeah.
can
It's
do
not
it.
tough, yeah.
And so they're sitting there giving them legal advice, and it's like, yeah. And also, dude, I mean, it sucks that she's taking the house, but I mean, what are your plans? In terms of where you're gonna live next? And then and then he just
I
goes
have a
into
nice
sales
studio I
pitches.
can show you in Brownsville.
Yeah, and then he's combining the fucking. He's like, dude, I could even knock off some of the lawyer fees if you just sign the, you know. Like,
Yeah.
Well, I got you a great prenup. What do we do with it though?
There's just like an office. It's like we'll sort out life for dudes, you know. And so it's just like dudes walk in there. They're like, yo, like we want to move in together, but like we might get divorced in like 5 years. Can we just like drop all the paperwork now? And it's almost like, you know, like when you write a rent check, but you like, you know, date it for like September or whatever, you know. And so they just have all the paperwork ready, and he just gives a phone call, and it's not even a phone call, like a text. He's like, send the divorce papers, or you know what I mean? Like, file the marriage license, file the divorce papers. What's my child support payment? You know what I mean?
Just have it
Like,
all lined up, ready to go.
yeah. If we're gonna do prenups, why don't we just do the whole thing with it? Why go through? You
Get
guys
it down.
get
Just
it.
line it up. I think she's right.
Yeah. But yeah. So okay. So what's our final advice for?
But before we do final
yeah.
advice, I'm behind on some comments. Tim on YouTube says, I know of someone who lost his longtime girlfriend / fiance after his mother meddled too much. Yeah, like that.
Yeah?
That fucking blows, man.
Yep.
Amy on YouTube says, moms always win. Joel on
Amy,
YouTube-
are you alone? Do you live by yourself, Amy?
Joel says, Amy, you are right. My wife is a mom. She got me. That makes her a winner. Pussy. Let's see. Tim on YouTube says, not married. We bought a home on 2 lots. I bought a single lot next to us.
Nice.
Power move. Yeah, that's a good little. It's good
I
to have
want a house with a yard and then another yard.
Joel on YouTube says, I was going to move in with a girlfriend once, but her husband wouldn't allow it. Yeah, he was a real cockblock. Yeah.
Come on.
Tyler
now.
on YouTube
Open
says,
mic night.
nice. Keep your options open in case things go south. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know.
Yeah. So I think my final advice for this person is, you know, I think I'm going to go with what Mark was saying, is that, you know, your mom, she can meddle, but at least have a minute to think if maybe your mom is sort of hitting a nail on the head, that you are, you know, take a good hard look at your boyfriend and be like, is he a loser? But if you say, no, it's not, then, you know, be firm with your mom. And also, yeah, have a conversation with your boyfriend. I can't tell you how many times we've answered questions on this podcast, and part of the final advice is talk to each other. Like, it's you people.
Seems so hard to talk.
It's like, you know, just start a text. You know, be at work, start a text that says, hey, when we get home, I'd like to talk about our future. Okay. And then, you know.
Well, if he never shows up, you know what it was.
Yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, start it out. Okay. What other final advice do we have for this person?
Just search within yourself.
Good advice. Still hilarious.
Hedge the real estate purchase with Bitcoin.
Yes.
All right, so I'm kind of torn on this because I don't think this guy's too much of a loser, because if he was too much of a loser, I think the mom would be pushing the daughter to break up with the guy as opposed to, hey, pressure this guy to get married. I think she's sensing he's maybe lacks commitment, fears commitment, whatever. So I guess my advice to her, because she lives with this guy, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the woman writing the question doesn't seem like she's in a super rush to get married, right? It's just her mother.
She sort of like is of the mindset she knows it's coming.
Okay.
Or thinks it's coming.
She thinks the marriage is coming, or the mom.
She's okay with waiting for the moment.
Okay.
It seems like she's like, I'm comfortable with this. Which
She's
is
like,
all that should
I know it's
matter.
gonna happen. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be like by a certain date.
Okay, so then what she should do, because here's the thing, like, as you get older, gets super easier to meet the woman's family, because I'm telling you, the closer the biological clock gets to no more babies, the less the parents give a fuck, man. Dude, I'm telling you, when I used to meet girlfriends' families in high schools, it was fucking horrifying. The dads were scary. I had one dude literally threaten me with castration because I had to fucking stay the night over there because it was too snowy for us to drive me back, and it was just a thing. Meeting my wife's family now, when I met them, you know, like 5-6 years ago, we were well into our 30s. They were the nicest fucking people on the planet. They were like, "Oh, come on!" I met them like at a beach house that they rent in the Outer Banks. Like, it was the first time I met the whole family, and they were like, "Here, you guys sleep in the big bedroom." Yeah, no, we'll take the little one away. Yeah.
There's a place where you can fuck my daughter.
It was great, and they were like, "Dude, I could have been a serial killer. They didn't know me. They just met me."
Well, could be.
And yeah, here's the thing. I give off a weird energy. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be happy about your daughter dating this, but once you get on the later half of 30, the parents are just like, unless he is literally in ISIS or like a neo-Nazi, I don't give a fuck.
I could
like
take
I do
Honey
not
Boo
give a
Boo's
fuck.
mom home, and my mom be like, "Great, somebody's gonna take care of her."
Right.
She
Exactly.
would not give
also-
a shit at this. But if I took Ryan Reynolds home, she'd be like, "All right, whatever."
You also caught them in a good mood. They're in the Outer Banks. They're probably shooting
Dude,
off
yeah.
fireworks.
Also,
buying
Amy's
beer and drive-throughs,
100%.
having a great
Yeah.
time.
They were drunk as shit.
I was gonna say also Amy's family is like really nice.
They are really nice. They are really nice, and I get along with him well. But they liked me instantly, and they liked me. I got way more praise than I had any right to get.
Did you ever stay with a girlfriend because you liked her family more than you liked her?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like short
Definitely
term.
not.
If it was somebody who's like, if it was in high school, if it was a parent who let us get high and drink in the fucking house and or trailer, then yes, yeah, I've definitely hung around.
Oh, man. I stayed with a
short
girl in my
term.
20s because I'm still friends with her. But her mom is what it means to be a matriarch in the family. She
Really?
knows your secrets. She knows you. She accepts all of you. She loves you, and she still feels that way about me. I love that woman with all of my heart.
Oh,
And I
wow.
stayed with this
Yeah.
girl. I was like, shit, Jennifer's a bitch. But I love her mom. I absolutely love her mom. And when we broke up, I was like, well, guess I'll have to find a new mom.
It is interesting. Yeah, sometimes I think it skips a generation because sometimes kids are loved too much. So so I could see a situation where the mother's amazing, she's the greatest thing ever, but her daughter was loved too much and is therefore,
Jennifer just had her own behavioral problem. We all did, and she's a great adult now. She's got a great daughter and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But when she was younger, she was just like, "Wow, you're kind of a." We're living together. She broke one plate accidentally, and then just took all of them out of the cabinet and smashed them into the trash.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not one to just degrade that kind of outburst
Nice.
because I'm that way. But I was like,
Sure.
"Yikes, man!
That-
I'm not the freak here."
So before, when you complimented her by saying, "She's a great adult," I was like, wow, PSA by Troy Allen. She's a great adult. But now after that story, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying.
Her dad's a
That's
pastor
crazy.
in a church,
That's
and he's
so
a dick.
crazy.
Yes.
But no, I think so since this guy doesn't seem like that bad of a fuck up, because if he was, she would have said something along the lines of, "Here's what my mom doesn't like," or "Here's something I don't like about him," and she doesn't seem in a hurry to get married, just the mother. So what I think she should do, since she already lives with a guy, she loves him, she's secure with him, start making up lies about the guy to the mother that makes him look like a horrible human being.
Ooh,
You
good
know?
idea.
Making up lies.
Yeah. It's like, you're sitting around having mother-daughter brunch, and you just say, "Hey, when you were dating Dad, did he ever used to stay out till 4 and come home with not even women's perfume, but like men's cologne all over him and glitter? Was that a thing?
Are
that he used to-
warts normal?
Yeah.
On the genitals?
Mom,
Is
does
that
this look
what-
like a
is that
cold sore to
usually-
you?
Yeah.
It's guys can get new cold sores without cheating, right, Mom? Is
It's all
that a thing?
passive aggressive stuff we're talking about, though, right? I'm suggesting, hey, torture her until she goes. You're suggesting taste. So
Yeah.
just say, "Mom, back the fuck up."
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good to be direct. That said, if she could do that, she wouldn't be on Reddit right now. You know what I mean?
She might not be looking
She's
for-
got to do this. She's got to find a back alleyway to get what she wants. So,
Amazing. Well, I think we answered that question. Should
I
we
think so,
go
too.
to our next question?
Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, hang on. We got a couple comments.
Amy, I didn't
before
use
we
a
do.
last name, so it's all right.
Yeah,
There's a
Amy,
million Jennifers out there.
yeah. Amy on YouTube says, Troy, did you just name your ex live on YouTube?
I did.
Tyler on YouTube says, if my girlfriend and I talk for more than if my girlfriend and I talked more often, there would be no relationship. Joel says, Tyler, after talking to you for several months, I believe you. Joel says, admiring Jake's laptop, bro. That's a John Denver sticker. Is the bomb?
Yeah.
I don't have a John Denver sticker, but thank you.
Yeah.
I should find one though.
There's always another Jennifer.
It's just like a
Jennifer.
fiery plane.
That's all it is. I used to work with a guy. He was an actor and a playwright in Denver, and he came to it was shortly after John Denver died. He came to the Halloween. We dressed up one day for work, and he came in a leather jacket, all like he was dead, with like a starfish in his hair and a propeller in his jacket.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious, but they were like, "No, you got to go home. You
Too
can't,
soon.
you can't show up to the job
Too
like that.
soon.
That's not appropriate."
Well, everybody knows the real reason that John Denver crashed that plane is because he was flying on what? Magnifico Pinot Grigio. Yes, the official Pinot Grigio of
This is going to be me officially drunk for the
Yes.
first time in years. That's enough. Oh God, I'm going to die.
flying planes fast and reckless.
Amazing. Well, should we take our next question?
We got a lot out of that one.
Absolutely. Next question on the Love Gurus Podcast. People, if you have any questions to write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, write them in the comments section of YouTube Live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to take yet another one from the Wild Animals on Reddit.
Me and Joel Smith, we're vibing.
Next question. I broke promises to my boyfriend while he was away dealing with his parents' health issues. Now I feel awful. My boyfriend and I are both 25, and we've been together for 3 years, living together for 2 years since we moved into a new city together for work. About 6 months ago, my boyfriend decided that he wanted to work on his personal discipline and decided to take some pretty drastic measures, namely starting on no-fap, getting on a keto diet to lose weight, and giving up on video games. Now, personally, I don't... Let me just take a pause.
Fap?
No,
Jerking off.
Yeah. I didn't know what it...
Because like when you jerk off, it makes a fap sound. Like fap, fap, fap.
So he stopped masturbating. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's a proud boy.
No, but when I read this question, I had to Google. I didn't know it was because of that noise, but I did have to Google what
It's
no
an
fap
onomatopoeia.
was. Yeah, and I was like, oh wow. Anyway,
I'd heard
yeah.
of no fap. I didn't know that it came from the sound. I thought it was just some douchey acronym.
But yeah, I thought
Yeah.
it was an acronym.
I think, now that we're talking, maybe it's not. Maybe I made up the sound in my head.
Yeah.
Guys, in the comments, let me know if it makes a fap sound or if
Yeah, 'cause
that
this is not fap.
maybe it's just mine that does
Yeah,
that.
no, but what you're saying makes sense.
Maybe
Okay.
the guy who started that thing, every time he jerks off, he has Tourette's, so he just goes, fap, fap.
I think it's the sound though. I think it's the
Yeah.
sound.
I mean, it would make sense.
Makes
yeah.
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, continuing on. Now, personally, I don't think that these things were necessary, except maybe losing weight because he was a little overweight. But I wanted to be supportive. He also asked that I join him on these things for moral support to avoid temptation. NoFap, I think, is pretty silly, but we have a robust sex life together, and it wasn't a great sacrifice for me to forego solo activity. I'm not at all overweight, but I agreed to follow the diet so that we wouldn't have tempting food in the house. I also like to play video games, maybe on the computer for a couple hours, a couple times a week, plus a few minutes here and there on my phone. But again, I didn't
Dude, this
want
lady
him to be
faps and plays
tempted.
video games. She rocks.
I figured I could stand the test of time and immerse myself in other hobbies. All went well for a few months. He lost 30 pounds, replaced gaming with working out, and while I'm not sure that what no fap accomplished, I'd give it the sense of personal discipline. Around mid-November, both of his parents, who live in another city, got sick with COVID. His father ended up needing to be hospitalized. His mother was also very sick. So because his job can be done remotely, he agreed to go stay with them and take care of them, and would just be long distance for a while. My boyfriend ended up being away for a little over 2 months, and honestly, I didn't stick to the provisions above while he was away. I didn't see any harm with taking care of my own needs from time to time, eating whatever I wanted,
and fapping.
and passing the time with gaming while he was gone for the 2 months. I wasn't even going to say anything about it, but after he'd been home for a couple days, he wanted to compare notes on how well we had mutually stuck to no fap, the diet, no gaming while he was away.
All I did was fap while eating cheeseburger and playing Oculus.
And when I told him I hadn't, he was furious. He said that I had betrayed him for not keeping promises and that I basically cheated on our life together and that he could no longer trust me. I apologized numerous times, but he won't accept that I'm truly sorry for not clarifying that he wanted me to stick to these restrictions in solidarity while he was away. What do I do now?
This is what happens when you're not smart enough to lie to your significant other about the small shit.
Well, I actually kind of give her props because she kind of was just like, she could have totally lied about it. She'd be like, "Oh my God, yeah, it was so hard, but I totally did it." Yeah. She was like, "Well, you were gone. What else was I supposed to do? Like, Sonic's just around the corner. What are you talking about?"
And my clit is right there.
Yeah.
And it's just here.
These two fingers are even closer than Sonic. They're with me at all time.
Yeah.
They were with me in the drive-thru.
Yeah.
I admire her spirit in the relationship.
Well,
this guy's making drastic life changes, and she's like, you know what? I'm not sure I'm on board with all these, but I'm going to do it because I'm in this relationship with my boyfriend, and I want to support him. I admire that spirit. And if he'd wanted that to continue, they should have had a discussion.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been implied that she was going to go on depriving herself of basic biological drives while he was out of town, because he didn't. If he says he does, he's lying.
Yeah, all right, so here's
This guy's full of shit. If he didn't masturbate once while he was away from the girl he was allowed to have sex with, he's full of shit.
If you didn't masturbate once while taking care of your sick parents, you're a fucking liar.
I masturbate every time my parents get sick.
100%,
Every
dude.
time. The worse it is, the harder I fap it.
Dude, when I hear this sound, I come. It's wild.
Yeah. My mom's like, "I've got cancer." I was like, "Oh, keep talking."
First off, shout out to Sonic the character and Sonic the restaurant. Both are great.
There you go.
Second off, this guy is for sure a controlling psycho, and would have known if she lied. He would have known. He's not jerking off. He's focused. He's got no dairy in his life. He's just fucking, what was it, keto?
Yeah, keto.
He's got no bread. He's just focused. He's probably making too much eye contact.
Yeah.
He is on it now. He is a different guy.
I believe that he didn't fap. If he had jerked off even a little bit, he would not be this much of a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
This reads dude that needs to nut real bad.
But
He's holding it against her. He's like trying to hold the moral high ground. Well, you didn't tell me. And he's holding her, and he's lying about it.
But I definitely think that you've hit the nail on the head as far as like controlling, because when we just watched my partner and I just watched this documentary last night about someone's controlling, you get it, like now she's been missing for 7 years, whatever. So when you control someone, it doesn't start with you locking them in the bedroom. It starts with
unless you met on a certain website, because go on.
It starts with you getting them to agree to not do something that they're normally used to, like masturbating or eating certain things,
or expressing a feeling about something.
Yeah,
right?
then you start to isolate them. Then you say, okay, you can't talk. Why would you talk to your mother? Isn't she terrible? You hate your mother, don't you? And it's a slow process over time. So the fact that he is literally trying to control her and using himself as the victim, like, oh, but this was for me. Again, I just think that if she's not careful, she is going to be a Netflix documentary, and she's not going to get the proceeds. You know who's going to get the proceeds? Her neighbor who saw the whole thing happening.
Here's my thing. I think he's making for himself some good life choices. I think there are some good things to not masturbating, no fap. I think there's some good things to it. But the second you're like, you have to do it too, that's an overreach. It's a significant overreach. And he's a psycho, because not only could she not play video games, she can't even play them on her phone.
Yeah. It was
I don't know
absolutely
why, to me, that's the big difference.
Wild.
But like, if someone's like, if he sees her playing Candy Crush and he's like, stop doing that, it's like, what do you...
Yeah.
This is like a thing you do. It's a little thing,
Yeah.
He's an abstinence guy. It's like it's all or nothing. He's a binary sort of thinking. It's like, if you masturbate at all, it's bad. No, it's actually natural and probably healthy for you.
He'd
if
be
you
less
do it all
of a
the
dick
time,
if he masturbated.
well, we got some issues, but...
Yeah. I mean, I'm not suggesting go Chris Rock on the situation. You know what I'm saying? But it is... And also, I mean, she agreed to do it while he was there. She only, started to, do whatever she wanted when he wasn't even around.
Yeah.
So it's also weird. What's also weird to me is that if this was so important to him... so you can't tell me they didn't talk during those 2 months, right? Like, it's not like, he was some Irish settler that went over to the New Worlds when she was back in the potato famine. Like, they had communication. And so the fact that he waited
I've seen that scene far and away. You didn't fap while I was gone, did you, Linda? Don't be fapping. It's against the Lord.
You've lost your
when the camera pulls way up and then they fall back in. Did you fap?
Yeah. Exactly. It's, so the fact that he waited for 2 months, then he comes home and he's like, did you follow my rules, Clarice? It's like, that is, to me, is what's weird. Like,
Right.
if it was such a big thing.
No, it's a start of the control.
Why aren't you like, oh, what'd you have for, you're just chit-chatting, what'd you have for dinner tonight? She's like,
I even remember,
Sonic,
yeah.
whatever.
I even remember Marilyn Manson saying that in the song, first I tell them to stop yapping. Then I tell them their mom is a dirty cunt.
He's trying to impose the controls on her that he needs in his own life.
Yeah.
And she doesn't need them. She's not the overweight one.
She's not a life coach. She's not a personal trainer. She's not a...
She's just trying to be alive, and he's got some control issues with himself and impulse control. I respect that, but don't impose it on her, man.
Yeah.
And this might be
it's pretty wild.
This might be a weird thing to say, but I feel like no fap for a guy is fine, but the woman shouldn't be doing that. I feel like a guy it's a different thing,
I once read an article that there was a woman, I think this was in Brazil, but she was allowed to masturbate at work because she...
Goddamn right, because they have a better healthcare system.
Yeah.
Where
But
was
she was... This was in Brazil. But she was allowed to masturbate at work.
My work
because
told me don't do that. We got complaints.
Yeah.
I'm HR. I'm a fucking asshole. I'm a prude.
It was something like she basically got a doctor's note saying like, "Hey, I kind of have to." Again, I'm not a doctor, but yeah, it was a doctor's note that said this woman needs to masturbate. Okay, just let her.
We got to investigate this.
Let her
doctor
tickle the
first.
raisin at lunchtime. Right?
Did that conversation with her doctor start with, "Hi, everybody"? That's a Dr. Nick move from The Simpsons.
Totally, yeah.
Oh,
That's a Dr. Nick move.
I thought you were gonna do like a Cosby impression.
So
Anyway.
why does she have to masturbate every day?
And
I'm
why
curious
can't
now.
she just do it in the bathroom when no one
No,
knows?
she was. It wasn't like she was like in the conference room, with her legs spread open. It was like she would.
I have an illness. How dare you?
It was like
protected
she.
under Title IX.
But why do they all know about
I will
it?
sue you all into non-existence.
I think it was something like she had to take more breaks than normal.
Hey,
Anyway,
the smokers get to go smoke, huh?
yeah, it's
I
like,
can't
different?
defend
How is that
spam.
different?
but you're bringing up a good point in the sense of like it's now I'm questioning. Did she really need to masturbate, or she just didn't really like her job that much? It's
Well,
like, is
'cause
she?
as a
yeah.
guy, you can definitely fap too much, and then you can't do anything with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a woman, I don't know
Yeah.
that you can do that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a woman, so I don't know, but I don't know that you can masturbate too much and then not have sex.
Dude, the
There
lady in
definitely
Brazil
is
was
a limit for men, and
Yeah.
because
Okay.
like once a day you're probably normal. If you're doing it like multiple times a day, it's you're distracting yourself from something. There's something else
Sure,
functioning
sure.
in your
Not
psyche
yeah,
that's not
and
healthy.
also not to be
I think that's
sexist
probably
with this
valid.
next comment, but I've actually never seen a woman masturbate in the subway. Is that just
that's a
me?
good point. That's a good point.
It's only men
Neither
that are
have I.
masturbating in the subway. So I'm just saying, if someone is going to be publicly inappropriate with their masturbating, it's probably going to be a dude.
Right?
Okay?
Yeah, that's
I've done the legwork.
very low glass ceiling on that one, and it'll never be broken. It's made of
Done
like
the
bulletproof
legwork. There's
glass.
a lot of jokes
Uh-huh.
there.
Yeah. It's a
But-
male-dominated sport. Subway jacking.
So we've got a lot of questions or things to answer for this. One is that there's the big question of should she even stay with him? So now he's like super pissed at her. How does she? And she's already apologized for the situation. I mean, how does she go forward in this situation? She obviously loves him. She they live together, et cetera, et cetera. It's, does she just blow off steam, or does she double down and call him a crazy psycho?
I think she needs to draw the lines because they are not one person. They're two people in a relationship. He's got different needs for his own life to keep.
Sometimes there's like 6. Okay.
Well, yeah, 18 different people. But I think
I've
she needs
seen
to draw the
TLC.
line of her individuality, establish herself, say, look, this is what's good for me. That's what's good for you, and you need that, but this is what's good for me because I don't need that. And
Yeah.
if he can't accept that, then she needs to not walk away, but she needs to jog quickly.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah,
and
yeah. Because
don't look back.
Keep in mind, he hasn't jerked off in 2 weeks. He's a killer. He's filled with just
Well, it's
bottled up
a
rage.
Proud Boy thing that they're not allowed to masturbate.
Is that a Proud Boy thing?
They stormed the Capitol. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
The Proud Boys, that is one of their tenets, is they don't masturbate, which came from like a radio host back in the day being
Wait.
like, guys shouldn't jerk off so they can like
But
save
here's
it
the
for
thing.
their woman.
Right after a dude comes, he gets level-headed instantly. That guy that jerked off on Nancy Pelosi's desk, you know what I mean? He's like, yeah, fuck you, Pelosi. Stop this. Oh, my God, what have I done?
I
Why
would
am I
respected
doing
that
this?
more than putting his feet up on it.
Yeah.
Drop a load on it. I'm
Wait.
gonna laugh at
Yeah,
that.
how did nobody
So-
jack off in the White House? You guys fucking let me down, Proud
I
Boys.
would if I'd been
You
in
got
there
nothing to
5
be
minutes.
proud of today.
No, here's a question though. What is that? What's the term for those men that are angry
Incels?
incels? That's what
Yeah.
it's like where they can't get a woman, so they hate women. But
The
they,
guy who wrote the Texas
they still-
abortion law is a 32-year-old virgin who lives with his mother in Texas.
yeah,
Oh,
but
wow.
he can't.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed. Incels aren't allowed to masturbate, right? Or
No, I
are
think
they?
I think
No,
they
I think
jack
they
off.
can.
I think
Yeah.
they don't have any other choice because nobody's gonna fuck
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here's what happens: is incels
Who's not
masturbate
allowing
a
them
lot
to?
unless they go with this hashtag NoFap November or whatever, and then they shoot up their school. You know, like that's kind of
That's the choice. Is like
yeah.
I'm gonna shoot onto a napkin or I'm gonna shoot my teacher.
It's a fucking downward spiral. You know,
What is it? It's
that's
like
what
it's
that song
almost like-
Jeremy was about.
It's almost like
It's a
have you
kiddie
guys?
kid.
Yeah. It's almost like you guys are like.
Jeremy
Have you seen it?
spoken.
Holmes, I remember
Jeremy's jerking.
a boy who didn't jack off, and then he shot us all the next day.
But it is amazing to me because there's it does seem that there's a lot of harm that's caused by men not blowing their load. You know, it's almost like you guys are like the pink slime in Ghostbusters 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like
Uh-huh.
your cum is the pink slime in Ghostbusters 2.
pink-
And
Yeah.
if you don't get that out of you, you're going to turn into like an evil painting and murder people in New
Yeah,
York.
I gotta slime people in the face a little bit here or there. Otherwise, I just go fucking
It's
nuts.
male privilege. If I can't get
So
off,
weird.
I'm gonna fuck some shit up.
Yeah, I guess
It is.
so.
My decision making is definitely different if I have or have not jerked off. There are texts that do
Oh,
or
yeah.
don't get sent depending on if
100%.
I've jerked off.
Yeah, dude.
Really?
If you're
100%,
hornier,
yeah.
I mean, that's why they say the test as a dude, the old cliche to see if you really like a woman you started seeing or you know, guy, if you're into that, is jerk off and then think about that person. And if you're still into them, then you actually like them.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've definitely heard. So it's interesting that you say that because you know, obviously there's drunk texting is a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there a term for like I guess cum texting?
Horny texting. Is,
Horny
That's
texting?
probably that. That's,
Okay.
that's how I think of it in my head.
I mean, until I was 30, it was just texting. You know?
Yeah.
There's, I mean,
You're like, I'm going to spread my seed even
Yeah.
through this group text message. That's what PTA
I don't
group.
care that the HR lady is on this group chat.
because there's always something sexy about most people, I think, and you find that sexy thing about someone, and even though you don't, you're like, you know what, I wouldn't want to date this person, but I find this sexy about him. When things are, dire,
I
you're
do
like,
not
I'm going to
think
focus
that-
on that sexy thing, and then when you're done with it, you're like, oh, right, but she's also this. And then that kills it. And I think what he's saying is valid. If when you're done, you're like, I still find her sexy, that's good. If you're done and you're like,
It's a teeter-totter, and sometimes the teeter-totters. Yeah.
well,
okay.
I imagine that's the same for women. I think you see a guy and you're like, that's one sexy thing about him. I wouldn't want anything else to do him, but I'd fuck him for that. And then I'd be done with him.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Is
I don't-
that a true thing? I don't know. I'm not a woman.
I think it's different. I think yeah. I mean, it's obviously different for every person. But I think that for women, it's like more of like a personal thing. I mean, yeah, you might fantasize, but I think it's less common for women to like, for example, see a hot guy in the street and be like, I'm gonna go home and flick my bean to that guy. Like, I've never done that.
Did you say flick my bean?
Yeah. Because also I can't even like really
She's from the
remember-
Midwest. All of our sex and masturbation references are agricultural.
I immediately think Breyer's vanilla bean ice cream because there's flecks of vanilla bean in
Well,
it.
there you go. It's,
And I like both of those images together.
yeah. So, but yeah, it's also because it's like
Jimmy Carter referred to it as twisting the peanut.
yeah, but also because I think like again, this is very stereotypical. I'm sure that there are women that have done that, but it's women and men, etc. But it's more of like, for me personally, it's more of like how someone makes you feel. So if you see a stranger, like, you have no memory associated with that person, and it's like I wouldn't even really be able to like even remember his face. But if it's someone that I've interacted with, that I've had a crush on, yeah, I might think about that, because like that's, again, it's how that person's making me feel, not necessarily just like the physical attraction.
Well, it's similar for me. Sometimes I'll be like, that blouse that she's wearing makes me want to go home and flick my bean. You know? That's how I feel.
I love an Ann Taylor knockoff.
The fact that she's wrapped in those newspapers in the corner of the subway is
Yeah, fucking A, I like a chick that reads. That's awesome.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, this is again, a situation. So my final advice to this person is: listen, this is definitely bordering on Netflix, true crime docuseries. So take a step back. Yeah, as Troy said, draw the line. And if it continues to get weird and he continues to freak out, this probably isn't the relationship for you, because either he's a psycho or he is one of those like crazy codependent people, and it's just, you don't sound like that person.
What's the name of the Julia Roberts movie where she's dating the hedge fund manager and they live on Cape Cod?
Sleeping with the Enemy?
Sleeping with the
Yeah.
Enemy. That started out little control things, and what she have to do, she had to murder a motherfucker to get out of that relationship.
I think you could have a conversation of being like, hey, I'm happy for you making your life decisions, but they're not right for me at this time, so I can't do it with you. And if that's a problem,
You got to go.
But like what I imagine he's going to say based on all the story is, I'm not mad that you did it. I'm mad that you lied to me. I feel like that is kind of like, if you're this guy, that's your controlling move.
He's going to try to pin her down on some moral problem.
Take a moral high ground on it. And if that's what he's throwing at you, that means he just kind of wants to control you, and you got to get out of there.
He's ignoring your humanity.
There's another
The
question.
fact that he calls it fapping instead of jacking off or bean flicking, that means he's a fucking douchebag.
There's another question in all of this. If the term fap comes from the sound that you make when you jerk off, can women truly fap?
Yeah.
And if you can't truly fap, then you can't no fap.
Yeah, they
You're
can.
already no fapping.
Yeah. You
Susan's
can
like-
you can make a fap sound. How dare you? Maybe not, young women, but women of us women of a certain age, you can make any sound you want.
I grew up in the old school. They taught us in health class that boys fap and girls squish. You know? That's the way it goes.
And she could be like, you didn't say no squish. You didn't say no squish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
She's like, dude, you stop fapping. I'm not fapping either. I'm squishing. All right? You
like-
should have made me fucking. I didn't see that fine print in the contract.
She's like, I haven't touched my penis for 29 years. Like, what are you talking about?
Wars and mass shootings are not done because of women squishing or not squishing. All right? I have nothing to fucking do with your crazy
We
fap
don't
thing.
commit felonies because we can't reach it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Great. So any other final advice for this person?
I think I got it.
I think we're pretty
Yeah,
clear on
I
it.
got-
Get away from him as fast as you can.
I got some. I don't necessarily agree with the getaway, but I mean, you probably should. But let's see. Joel on YouTube says Suzanne isn't a doctor, but she's looking for employment in Brazil. Joel says it
Yes.
sounds like she was already blowing off steam and it pissed him off. Amy on YouTube says, "Oh yeah, talk to a controlling guy sensibly. That will work."
I think Amy's onto something. She's got some experience.
Yeah, and real quick, the lady in Brazil, if she wants to just masturbate at work and get a doctor's like, fuck that, stay home and start an OnlyFans. That's the American way, you know?
Yeah, get rich on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck, you would not have to fill out spreadsheets if you would just, turn your disability into an ability. That's what I say.
Have you guys ever masturbated at work?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Absolutely
really
not.
Oh, but like none
That's
of the
why it took me 30 to 45 seconds to answer that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I think everyone has.
I got a blowjob at work.
Really?
My man.
Yeah, it was nice.
I was
working for
conceived at
Janus
work.
Funds Mutual Fund Company in Denver, Colorado. I don't mind saying it out loud.
Whoa.
Dude.
Nice.
And this girl I was kind of flirting with, it was...
She's like, do you want to join the Mile High Club?
She was a virgin. She was extremely religious, and we had this just like intense sexual connection. And she just put a note on my desk one day before our break. She says, "I want to drink you on our break."
Whoa!
And I was actually the weak one in this. I was afraid. I was like, "Oh, what's going to happen?" So we went downstairs to this bathroom near the Investor Service Center, which nobody ever used. I went in.
The Investor Services Center.
Yeah.
I mean, but to be fair, that does sound like a place where people get blowjobs.
Right. This
It's-
sounds like a
Oh,
low-grade Wolf
would
on
you
Wall
like
Street.
to be
Service
an
investor.
investor? Here's the service center.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And I went in the men's bathroom to see if nobody was in there. I was like, I'll check it out. And she just barged through the door behind me. She didn't care. She shoved me in the stall. It took 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, that's the best thing I ever
Wow.
had. And we went back upstairs.
Dude,
and-
that's awesome.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
My-
it was amazing.
You guys are
And
just getting horny as hell.
That's
selling
fucking
mutual
crazy.
funds and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was this. My next.
What
phone
was
call
your
was
rate
like,
of return?
Welcome to Janice.
She's a
My name is
right-wing,
Troy. How can I help
Christian
you?
girl, and she just slipped you the note, like, "Hey, let's go."
You know, it
this?
wasn't that out of the blue. I told her about a dream I had where she did something similar, and she
Fuck
was just
yeah.
like, you know what, I'm gonna make that real.
Sometimes dreams really do come true.
Yeah,
You
man.
know, I really didn't believe in manifestation until you just said that. When people always talk about manifesting their dreams, I'm always like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
now I
should've-
kind of believe it.
I should have dreamed something better. Like a blowjob. Like, all right, I didn't realize how easy
Yeah.
that was going to be in life. Now
Troy
it's
read
like,
the book The Secret, and he's like, "This feels like a waste long term, but like I really want a blowjob from Christian Annie down there, man.
Man.
This is gonna be great."
Her name was Kendra. There you go, Amy.
Do you see what happens, right-wing Christian conservatives, when you tell your daughters never to fap or squish? Do you see what happens? They end up blowing dudes in the investor center bathroom.
Oh, it was amazing.
Investor services. Amazing. I think we answered that question.
I gotta.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
I do have final advice for
Okay.
her. All right, like the obvious advice is to leave, and don't just leave. Leave in dramatic fashion. Leave with I leave a video of you, eating a foot long in one hand and squishing in the other hand. Just fucking and eat like corn on the cob. Eat only dick and dildo shaped foods
And
while
with a
you're doing
gamer's
it.
headset on.
Yeah,
You gotta have a gamer's headset.
Yeah.
You're just playing a game, eating a fucking 12-inch kielbasa and rubbing it.
PS5. He only had 4. He didn't know about the 5. You kept the 5 secret from him. That was in the closet. Just like your squishing hand and your toys
if
and all
it
that.
turned out she had a secret PS5, I'm flipping sides. It's for sure he's the right one.
Yeah.
Have a secret PS5. I'm getting pissed thinking about it.
Wow.
Dude,
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne
That's
style.
a secret PS5 is a violation of the relationship code.
Oh, yeah, dude. She pulls a book
Yeah.
on the bookcase. The thing spins around. There's just a bunch of dildos and fucking PS5 and Oculus in there. Chili dogs, all kinds of shits in there.
Is Oculus VR stuff?
Yeah. It's like the thing with the goggles.
Oh, yeah. There's a really awesome VR display or a VR exhibit at the Banksy exhibit if you get a chance.
Really?
Yeah,
That
that's
sounds
off
cool,
topic,
man.
But yeah,
Cool.
it was amazing. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Where is the Banksy exhibit?
6th and 14th. It's
I'll
right
check
there
that
on the
out,
corner,
man.
right next to the Starbucks. It's awesome.
That's
Wow.
There's also
Interesting.
VR porn out there if you're looking to not nofap.
Very interesting.
And on YouTube says, "Oh, I know Kendra."
Amazing. Well, perfect.
Well, okay, so my advice, my real advice to her is like, listen, you either if you don't leave this guy, then just do what I did. Like, because, dude, sometimes my wife does get weird about me, like, fapping, and, like, she will sometimes come in, and she'll be like, I heard the sound, like, were you fapping in here? And I just go, nah. Problem solved. Fucking don't tell him about it, dummy. What's fucking wrong with you? Are you Jim Carrey and Liar Liar? Like, why aren't you? He was in a different state while you were masturbating. How did you get caught? You're like an informant on yourself. You just fapped yourself. That's what you did. You fapped yourself out to this guy. That's you. You deserve to be in a controlling relationship with Marilyn Manson because you're too stupid to lie.
Too stupid to lie.
Yeah.
well,
Wine.
Wine.
I think we answered that question. Let's do one more. But
so too.
don't do the third one. Do the fourth one.
Do the fourth one?
'Cause,
All right.
Yeah. I don't like the third one anymore.
What's that Joel comments? Joel Smith, something about
Oh, here
moving
we
to
go.
Denver and get a job at a financial company.
The OP needs to leave this relationship, move to Denver, and get a job at a financial company. Fucking ain't right. He says, so Jennifer worked in mutual funds.
no, God, no.
Mutual funds. Get it? It's
Jennifer was a
because
waitress at a diner on Colfax.
Oh.
It was a great job.
nice.
Sorry, I was thinking of. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Gosh, Troy, we really just run the gauntlet, haven't we? With your love life?
I'm just rolling out there. Amy's like, I know Kendra. Do you know Kendra? All right.
Kendra, yeah. She was way into the Bible and then blew Troy, and then now she's all over the place.
Her dad's church
She's got a letter that says I got to fap at work. She's fucking crazy.
She was Pentecostal. Her dad's church actually made the national news with their billboard one year.
Wow.
I won't say the name of the church because that's probably probably libelous, but it said
Sure.
It was Easter, and it's like, remember this season that the Jews killed Jesus.
Holy shit!
So I got my revenge. I was like, yeah, and I shot a load in your daughter's mouth. Fuck you.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. You fucked the face of an anti-Semitic pastor's daughter at work in the bathroom
I
in
don't
the
think-
investors' lounge. Or
I
whatever
would
that
like
was.
to say yes, but I think
I was
she
gonna
was
say
the
that
aggressor.
sounds. I was gonna say
There
that
you
sounds
go.
rapey.
She more like took it to the dome than I fucked her face. Yeah.
Dude, I think there's a lot of that with those super like ultra religious, like, don't you ever touch the devil's bean or you will burn in hell. You know, like with a lot of that, all of that's pent up.
It's
and
a
then
law of the
eventually
universe,
They're
yeah.
like, I gotta blow this guy that I sell mutual funds with in the
It's
bathroom.
it's an imperative that is never violated. They were always like that.
100%, dude. Like that's it's crazy. It's fucking wild.
Crazy. You crazy, Brendan. You crazy. So let's
What's our
take
next question?
last question.
Last question on the Love
last
Gurus
question.
podcast. People, if you've got a question to write into the Love Gurus podcast, write it to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or better yet, listen live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Write us question, give us comments in the chat. We are going to take our last question from the wild animals on Reddit.
I'm officially drunk.
Yeah.
Last question. My ex-girlfriend lied about being a lesbian so that she could leave me for a guy that I was friends with. What do I do now? Me and my ex-girlfriend were together
That
for...
sounds like advice we would give drunk. I love this woman. I fucking love this woman.
Me and my ex-girlfriend were together for 4 months, and last week she told me that she was a lesbian and she wanted to remain friends. I told her that I needed some time because I was devastated, but in the future I was happy to remain friends. Yesterday I found out that she is in a relationship with my friend, and neither of them told me about it!
Well-
Your friend Chad identifies as a woman, and I've been fucking.
Yeah, because we
Sorry.
don't know the gender of the friend yet.
Yeah, so good question. This is a male writing the question. The girlfriend identifies as female, and the friend is male. So
Okay.
let me just finish.
All right.
Okay. I'm conflicted. I don't know if I still love her, hate her, or want to be friends. As for my friend that she's going out with, we already had an argument and ended our friendship. What should I do? Should I stay friends with her? So it's a dude writing the question who was dating a female. The female said she's a lesbian to get out of the relationship. Then she started dating his male friend.
Dude, this guy needs to fap even more than the guy from the last question. This is fucking sad, bro.
I just
Yeah,
think,
he's fixating.
yeah, but also, I mean, what a piece of garbage.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
this is rough.
Rejoice is what you should do.
Yeah.
Rejoice that you got rid of two people that you don't need in your life. That's
you go.
It's
Sing the praises to heaven.
I think it's almost like homophobic. You know, it's like, oh, I can't be with you anymore because I'm a lesbian. I'm a big lesbian. Like, what are you talking
Sexuality
about?
appropriation.
I don't know, man.
This is
It's
the
hard.
first case of sexuality appropriation I've
Yeah,
ever heard of.
It's hard to break up with people. I think you just gotta say something and get out of there.
I
and,
think
and
I
that's
just-
it. You know,
I can
people say
think
all
of-
sorts of things when they break up.
I can think of a million better reasons to break up with someone than that. Like, that should never be a reason to lie about your sexuality.
Yeah,
I just think it's just you're marginalizing a whole community. It's like, hey, I'm gonna lie and say I'm black so I can't be in this relationship
You just
anymore.
got-
Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the only time I've ever lied about being gay was to get on diversity stand-up competitions. You know, like that's the only good reason to do it.
I think you just gotta say it because I don't know. It's hard when you break up because they're always like, why are you doing this? And then you have to say a thing, you know. And like I think the temptation when I was younger was like, well, I'll just say something that's annoying me about them, and that's actually the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah.
So I almost feel like I'm a lesbian is almost like a sort of like I'm getting out of it thing, you know. They
Yeah,
have
but
some weird continued friendship now that they
the
probably just
other
shouldn't be
way
having.
to get out of a relationship
Yeah.
is to just say, hey, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore.
Sure,
And-
but that's not the end
Make
of
it
the conversation.
simple, yeah.
You
But
gotta
some
say
people
a
can't-
bunch of stuff.
I appreciate
there's
what he's
actually-
saying because
no-
it's hard to it's hard to break up with someone that maybe you like fundamentally but don't want to be with, or you respect them and you don't want to hurt them. But there's better ways than co-opting the suffering of a marginalized group of people to say, hey, I'm a lesbian, and then I'm moving out, and then go suck another dick.
Maybe she felt like a lesbian at the time. She was like, you know what? I don't like having
Things
sex.
were so bad with
I don't
him.
like having sex with this guy anymore. I think I like
saying-
women only. And then she meets another guy, and she's like, oh man, I was just feeling something weird,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there is an amount of vocal fry that you can use in a relationship to make someone unattracted to you. And so if you say, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore.
See, I already am breaking up with you, and we're not.
That's what I'm saying.
It's over. Yeah, we're
That's
done.
what I'm saying. Is vocal fry. You use it to get out of the relationship.
But
Or
even
an
then, I'd
accent,
feel
yeah.
bad. I'd be like, I can't leave my wife now. She just had a stroke. What kind of fucking piece of shit would I look like?
Yeah, I just think, yeah, it's, listen, person writing the question, you have been handed a golden egg. This is going to be something that you are so glad you got out of in the future, because why would you want to be associated with such a dirtbag? I mean, she's a dirtbag, like, full stop.
Oh,
I'm not saying that she's not bisexual or whatever, but for her to use that as that she is a lesbian, she's now coming out. Oh, and then 2 weeks later, she's fucking your best friend? Like,
That kind of
fuck
dishonesty in
her.
communication they were doomed to begin with.
Yeah.
I think he's making a choice, though, to be upset about the breakup. I think he's looking for a reason to be upset, and the reason he's choosing is, well, she promised me she was a lesbian. And now, because of that, I was okay with her hanging out with my friends.
Okay, so wait, because I think what you say makes a lot of sense. So you're saying he was. Wait, what did you say again?
I think after a breakup, I think a lot of times being angry at the person is kind of a choice. I think you can, to some extent, unless they do something really terrible, kind of choose
Yeah.
to
in
not be
the
angry.
sense
That's
of
a
like
good point.
you
Yeah.
only have control over your own actions.
Yeah.
You can't control someone
It's
else.
sort of that
Yeah.
Chaz Palminteri line in A Bronx Tale, where the young kid that he's like mentoring / teaching how to be a criminal is chasing that guy down because he owes him $20 or whatever. And he's like, hey, why are you chasing that guy? Because he owes me $20. And he's like, well, do you like that guy? And he's like, no, I fucking hate him. And he's like, well, for the low price of $20, he's out of your life forever. I mean, that's kind of
That's some good perspective
yeah.
right there.
I mean, that's sort of the way that this guy should be looking at it.
Hey, we got to address Joel real quick.
Yes.
The Love Guru podcast is no place for logic. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
This
No,
is the place for unassailable logic. This is impenetrable logic. We are wisdom. We are gurus, and we're not that because
true.
we're not logical. But I don't know where you're coming from.
Tell 'em.
But get the fuck out of here, Joel. Wait, stay.
wait.
You're only one of two people.
Here's
Please stay.
here. Joel is responding to Tyler. Tyler on YouTube says he doesn't need either one of them in his life.
Fuck.
She shouldn't have lied twice, and his friend shouldn't have stolen his girlfriend and not say something. Joel says,
Tyler's
at
on it.
Tyler, the Love Gurus is no place for logic. Tim on YouTube says, I was thinking of Bronx Tale earlier with the Molotov cocktails. Yeah, fucking it. I mean, the Bronx Tale taught us many things. It taught us how to know whether or not your girlfriend is good or bad. It teaches you about cutting losses. And it teaches us how to firebomb a store because it's being run by a bunch of people that aren't the same color as you. And all
Why
of
else
those are
would you
important things to
firebomb
do.
it?
Right. I mean, all of those things are very important things to do. I do all of those things on almost a daily basis.
Firebomb people.
I mean, sometimes. Sometimes it's my choice. Sometimes I'm being paid.
You're not
It's
saying sometimes.
outsourced.
So
About.
I
Bougie
didn't.
every day.
Yeah, I didn't clock when you guys first said that. I thought you were talking about like the shot, and then I was like, yeah, of course Jake walks around New York giving people fireball shots. Like, that's Jake. That's Jake. He's a nice guy.
Fireball.
He's a nice guy. You want the fireball? My name's Jake.
firebomb. Oh, Jake is a good guy to the firebomb, the Molotov cocktail.
I'm like a
Bumble.
trashy Santa Claus. I just have a red velvet bag filled with little single shots of Fireball. And I'm like, ho, 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 drink this.
Because
and they're like, it's noon on a Tuesday. What the fuck is wrong with you? I said, drink it.
Because I've seen them at the grocery store, and it'll be like a package of like 20. I just thought Jake was walking around handing those out to people.
I mean, if not me, who? And if not now, when? In the words of JFK.
He's
Milady.
doing the work of
Yes.
the Lord, and the Lord being whoever manufactures Fireball.
Fucking A right. The
Which
Lord
I assume
giveth
is
shots
Kellogg's.
of Fireball.
I don't know who makes that.
Yeah. So what other final advice do we have for this person?
Same guy that invented acid reflux. That's who makes that shit.
I think he's probably very angry, and I think he should evaluate whether or not he wants these people in his life, whether or not they can be good friends, and if he can find a way to get past it, just be friends with them again. If not, kind of move on and go do other things. But this hanging up over like even just in the short term of like my girlfriend broke up with me and said she's a lesbian. What do I do now? It's like you don't do anything. There's not a second thing to do.
Yeah.
You're not in a negotiation anymore. It's over. People think a breakup sometimes is like a negotiation to get back into the relationship. It's really a negotiation for whether or not you hate each other, you know?
Yeah.
The breakup you're negotiating, do we hate each other or are we okay?
Yeah.
And the negotiation is not going well right now.
I like basically every breakup I've been through, I wish that you would have like said that to me right as the breakup happened. Because in my head, I'm like, well, if I do this, we'll get back together. It didn't happen. But yeah, I think that's great advice. What other final advice? Yeah, Nick. Well, hopefully not.
I think the girl needs to address some things. And we've focused on the guy and his problems, but this girl who's willing to say I'm a lesbian to get out of a relationship needs to address whatever's in her brain that makes her say something like that to get out of a relationship.
Well, who knows? Maybe
and she can't be honest, or maybe she's struggling with her sexuality, which I can empathize with. Get clarity on that before you get involved in another relationship.
Oh no, she seems to be dead on with her sexuality. She's like, I love dick so much, I'll pretend I don't like dick at all. Like she's all in on the dick.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they broke up. She squished with some women, and then she fucking was like, you know what? I kind of like guys again. And then kind of went.
She decided scissors were sharp, and she's like, well, I like dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So yeah, Jake, any final advice?
Yes. First, we got Joel on YouTube says, the gentleman in the middle makes a good point. That would be Mr. Mark Henley. Try to save the friendship. If it works out, you may be able to spit roaster.
I love the phrase spit roast.
I mean,
more
bros
than any
before
other
hoes.
phrase in our
But
language.
do we necessarily need to get rid of the hoes just because we're with our bros? Tell me that. I believe Socrates said that. Did he not?
Spit roaster. I love spit
You
roast.
can't. Yeah. Speaking of Socrates, you can't tell me there wasn't a constellation that they were like spit roast, and then like, as time went on, they're like, fine, Orion's belt.
Whatever. But it looks like a girl taking it in the back door and the front door at the same time.
Like you cannot tell me that.
I say the stars in that northeastern corner look like two guys fucking one chick. But no, we can't put that in the book.
That would fuck up astrological signs in people's horoscopes. It's like, all right, if you're spit roast today, you can expect to be fucked in two directions.
Oh, amazing. Yeah.
We're mature.
Yeah.
All right. So my final advice is obviously, is to get rid of her. I mean, I feel like that's the obvious thing is like to forget about them because look, even there's been times when I was heartbroken, and like I've been broken up with, and I wanted to crawl up in a fucking ball and die. But there was that other part of me to where it's like I don't want to do the thing where I'm texting her, hey, what are you doing? Hey, let's talk.
Can I get my CDs back?
Right. Yeah, it makes you seem pathetic. You know what I mean? Like, you got to make her think that you're doing a million other things than thinking about her right now. That's the only way you come out on top in this. That's the only way you come out. The only way to make her think that, hey, this guy's not a total fucking loser. Hey, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe whatever. Because even if she's not going to get back with you, because she's not going to at this point. If she fucks your friend, that's it, dude. She's done with you.
Yeah.
Like, she's hard done with you. I would say normally if she fucks someone who's not you, she's done with you. If she fucks your friend, she's done with you. You know?
Yeah, if she fucked a guy at the bar the night you broke up, she's not done with you. She's just like, all right, I was trying to get over
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Different. Totally different. But this is her lying, saying she's gay to break up, when really she's the opposite of gay. She's fucking the dick who's closest to your heart, bro. You know? That's what's going on. And so I would say, yeah, definitely get away from her, but I don't think just get away from her. You either have to do one of two things. A, find a car that they're both in and Molotov cocktail it like Bronx Tale. So you could do that. But you got to be
action.
Yeah, you got to try to, but now you got to run from the cops. You could go to prison.
It's
not
legal
the best advice.
in most
Here's the thing.
worlds.
As Suzanne pointed out earlier,
Most.
if she is indeed going, I can't be with you because I'm a huge bean flicking mug runchy blah 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 blah. She's probably kind of fucking homophobic, right? Probably, and usually like homophobia tends to be a man's sport more than anything. You know, when a woman's homophobic, that's some deep-rooted shit. You know, that's some fucking like deep
Southern
Bible Belt.
evangelical
She was,
Christian
yeah,
bullshit.
she was
Yeah.
taught that.
Clearly, she comes from a family where the father's church put the Jews killed Jesus up in on the highway over Easter, right?
She then obtained her
Kendra.
finance degree from Colorado University, and then
Yeah, 100%. Here's what you do. She's already blowing Troy in the bathroom. That already happened. Your best friend
Thank
Troy
you.
is fucking this chick, all right? You're going to have to
Blow
deal
the
with that.
bathroom.
You're going to have to come to terms with that. I don't know whether you need therapy. I don't know whether you need Christ. I don't know whether you need to fap, you know? I don't know what you need. But you're going to have to do that with yourself. But what you can do is save one of those texts where she goes, I'm eating pussy, so I can't be with you. Send it to her homophobic evangelical father.
Oh.
Yes.
And also send it to me.
Yes, send it to Troy so he can
wanna
fap
see
to it.
I want to read that.
And send it to me. I want to fap to it as well. But most of all, send it to her father so that he disowns her over gay sex she's not having.
There's also a Hail Mary I just thought of. Invite both of them out to karaoke night. Sign up you and her to sing a song together. You get up there. The song they're playing is Kid Rock's Picture. You know? The one with Sheryl Crow.
Yeah.
And so
Yes!
you sing a long part about how, I put your picture away. And if she does the Sheryl Crow part and sings back to you, maybe it's not over.
I'm thinking Islands in the Stream.
Oh man.
Yeah,
It was the highlight of Kid Rock's career and the low point of Sheryl Crow's
no, the
career.
highlight of Kid Rock's career was when Pam Anderson finally decided to marry him. Like
There you
that
go.
was that
Oh, yeah,
was
we married
definitely-
her on a boat when she was in a white bikini? Damn,
Yeah.
dude. What a dream.
There is no greater aphrodisiac for a
Honestly,
hot
I'm just
model
saying
woman
that was
than being
definitely
white
his
trash.
peak.
Yeah, Kid Rock had some
Not
high
hers.
peaks. He was at WrestleMania one time. Dude, Being Kid Rock seems okay. He seems angry now, but it seemed good for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time,
Yeah.
Bob was doing all right.
Yeah.
His real name's Bob.
He was friends with a little person. He was killing it for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
He had a good trajectory,
Yeah.
and then
The little
Joel-
person died. That was another low point for Kid Rock.
Ooh,
actually.
yeah.
Who died?
The little person, Joe C.
I don't
Oh,
know
really?
Joseph.
Yeah. He what's his name? Kid Rock had like a little person. That would
Oh,
rap
I
with him on
definitely don't know
stage.
this Kid Rock side characters. You fucking kidding me?
He had Kid Rock had so many side characters. One of them was Joe C. He was a little person that would rap on stage with him.
Did he
Oh,
also
wow.
Kid Pebble?
Oh, cool.
Uncle Cracker was also one of his side characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in.
He was good friends with Uncle Cracker and also really good friends with that motorcycle guy that had anyway.
Kid
Well,
Rock
he got
loves
Uncle
crackers
Cracker
and
in his
only
deal,
crackers
right?
love him.
The only
like
reason we have
Jesse
Uncle Cracker's
James
songs
or
is
something. He
Kid
had like
Rock.
that
Maybe.
motorcycle
Oh, yeah,
rehab
that
show
guy,
on.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's probably dead.
Jesse James?
But that, yeah.
He might be. He seems like the type of famous guy that would be
dead.
dead.
Well, but again, circling back to what we were saying before.
Joe C is dead.
all
R.I.P. Joe
movies,
C.
but again, we've already said it. All movies you watch, everyone dies, just like real life.
That's true.
Josie, Jesse James, and Norm Macdonald are all dead.
Absolutely.
And Betty White.
There's that one
Uh-huh.
Kid Rock song where
Damn
Joe C says that he's like 3'5" with a 10-foot dick.
I
Yeah,
do
good
remember
song.
that.
Great
Yeah.
lyrics.
Yeah.
He was
Uh-huh.
actually a
Love
little
it.
person that said
That'd
it.
be wildly inconvenient, though.
I mean,
To
he
have
died
your
for a
dick being
reason.
long
His dick
like
was too big.
almost three times as long as
You'd have to
are.
have,
I mean,
like,
that's a glass is
massive
half full
quads.
kind of problem. I think, you know?
Your core strength to be off the charts. I mean,
Yeah.
could your pubococcygeal muscle sustain an erection
Dude,
long enough to actually
I would
fuck
create an
something with a 10-foot
OnlyFans.
cock?
I would just pogo stick in and out of women. You know what I mean? I would call it my OnlyFans name would be Pogo Squish. I would be Pogo Squish. It would be amazing.
I would just lay it on a Subway sandwich, like one of those record long ones. Say, all right, this is a dick sandwich. What are we doing here? Come and eat this. Well, that was a
Amazing,
highbrow
yeah.
way,
Well, perfect. I think we answered that
Yes.
question.
Joel on YouTube says she can send the text to me also, but only if it includes videos.
Yeah, good call.
Make
Yeah, I
her-
want some picture. I want some evidence that she's eaten some
Yeah.
clam.
I want her to method act this lie. I want her to Daniel Day-Lewis this one, you know?
Oh, you're a lesbian? Lick that pussy.
The
right
time
now.
to
Lick
leave
it.
my man for a woman is now.
You'll either leak some pussy, you're gonna play some softball. You're
Yeah,
gonna do
100%.
one of the two things. Yeah.
100%. Hold on. And then send that to her dad. Make him just. But no, this has been good, man. I think we
Yeah.
answered all the questions. Thank you so much to all the
You are
listeners.
better for our existence in the planet. Thank you, and go forth with our wisdom, the ignorant masses.
Thank you to Mark Henley. Thank you to Troy Allen for
Yeah.
being here. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to Tim. Thank you to Tyler. Thank you to Joel. To Amy, thank you to Irish Keith for showing up, man. That was awesome.
And goodbye, Kendra and Jennifer.
And goodbye, Kendra and Jenner. Jenner.
She's
Goodbye,
gone, too.
Kendra Jenner. Her name is Ken now. But until next week, write us your questions at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, watch every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until next week, later.